I want to make sure things that I do, things that I have done, speak to, who I am and who, I would want someone else to be, right, for the better. So just carrying myself in a way in which, I think is good, wholesome, honorable, and excellent is the Xavier way.
From the Office of Institutional Advancement and Alumni Relations, this is Xavier Gold Live, the podcast highlighting stories of leadership, impact, and the Xavier spirit.
Welcome to Xavier Gold Live, your front row seat to the stories of Xavier alumni transforming passion into purpose. I'm Jamya, Stewart, a psychology major exploring the world of mass communication as my minor, hailing from the great city of Chicago, Illinois.
And I'm Amaya, Sanford, a proud mass communication major from the Atlanta, Georgia. Together, we're committed to uncovering the stories, legacies, and lived experiences that continue to shape Xavier University. On this episode, we welcome Dr. Michael Young, a dedicated physician, community leader, and proud Xavierite whose life work reflects the power of purpose and service. From providing compassionate care in anesthesiology to uplifting others through music, mentorship, and alumni engagement, Dr. Young embodies Xavier University's core values of excellence, service, and community. Through his commitment to healing and empowering others, he continues to inspire future generations to lead with integrity, heart, and purpose.
Dr. Michael Young, a proud Xavierite, board-certified anesthesiologist, community leader, and advocate for excellence in medicine and mentorship. Dr. Young graduated from Xavier University of Louisiana in 1994 and went on to earn his medical degree from Howard University College of Medicine. He currently serves as an anesthesiologist and pain medicine physician in the New York tri-state area with a reputation for compassionate care and clinical excellence. He is the treasurer of Xavier's New York Tri-State Alumni Chapter and a dedicated mentor to students pursuing healthcare careers, always paying it forward to the next generation of Black medical professionals. A native of Marrero, Louisiana, Dr. Young is also known for his role in founding Xavier's pep marching band, blending his passion for music, culture, and campus life. Through his service, scholarship, and spirit, he continues to represent the best of the Xavier legacy. Dr. Young, thank you for joining us. So, first question, we're just going to hop right in. What inspired your decision to specialize in anesthesiology and pain medicine, and what keeps you passionate about it?
Well, when I first, aspired to enter into medicine, I thought I wanted to be an obstetrician. Eventually, as I found out more about obstetrics, I started to think and question whether or not I really wanted to do it, and kind of looked into other careers in medicine. I took in 8th grade, I think it was like a battery assessment of different type of interests that I had, and anesthesia was one of them. Not knowing anything about it, I kind of looked into it, and I was like, wow, this sounds pretty cool. Kind of bridged physiology and pharmacology to concepts of medicine that I really had interest in. Mm-hmm. And so as I progressed in, I would say, at Xavier, I did a couple of clerkships, different summer programs where I followed an anesthesiologist, and it was like, oh, wow, this is definitely what I like to do. Mm-hmm. And while I was in residency, I went to University of Maryland for my residency program. I actually, we do subclinicals in what they call like different specialties, subspecialties in anesthesia. And once I actually did pain, I was like, this is pretty cool. Get to, be outside of the OR. Got to see patients in very debilitating states and see a really significant change in what the medicine that I practiced actually did to the quality of life. So I was like, this is good stuff.
I feel that. I hear that. So I know you did a lot at Xavier and you've done a lot for Xavier, but tell us more about being the founder of the Xavier Marching Band and why that's important to you.
Yeah, back in 90, I think it was 92. I've always been in music since I would say 3rd grade. Mm-hmm. And once I got to Xavier, I was like, part of my love for bands still existed, and we never had at that time we didn't have a band, a pep band, marching band, and but we had a jazz band, concert band ensemble, and so I actually had a couple of peers that was like, hey, look, we want to help you start this band. So they started a petition. We got support of our vice president of student affairs at the time was Sister Beatrice Jeffries. And she actually was like, oh, yeah, she wanted to take that on. She thought it would be a good idea for the community at large, at Xavier, and made it happen. And so now we have a full-fledged marching band, and I'm so happy to be, a part of that story. Been working for the last maybe 7-8 years of trying to do a collaboration. So I think this year we're actually going to have a collaboration where old pep band members back in my 90s days are going to work with the music director, Darren Rogers, to actually do a collaboration with the current student band. So looking forward to that for homecoming.
I bet that feels like so full circle, and it's happening during the centennial year.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything is so special.
Yeah.
And speaking of like advancements and moving on to different things, new eras, how has the medical field evolved with technology and different advancements and things like that since you first started practicing? And how have you like adapted to those changes?
Well, I would say the biggest thing for us would be like electronic medical records, right? I mean, everything that we did back when I first started was on paper. We would have some electronic charts, but now I guess in the practice of anesthesia, we actually, everything is automated. I mean, the medications that we give basically is like a click of what we actually provided for the patients. And some systems actually have scan codes where you can scan the medication, it automatically populates onto the records. Vital signs, you used to have to write everything down. Now it basically inputs all the data. So it in many ways simplifies things. Some ways basically you can imagine there being some erroneous vital signs that might come up. You're like, let me come and modify that.
It's a human at the end.
Yeah. So definitely there's still human input that we have to do to make sure the records are appropriate. But I think it's made medicine better because a lot of information that we actually had to look up in variable different charts and have to call around to different doctors' offices, we can actually pull up with a matter of a couple of clicks, looking up records from other hospitals, other disciplines, notes from various different periods of time that actually help us care for the patients much better and efficiently.
That's good. I know that the whole technology thing advancing was like scary probably for a lot of people at first.
Especially as a doctor.
Yeah, like all it does is advance us. So I know you're really busy in the medical field, but you still find a way to still give back to the community. So what motivates you to continue to give back to your community despite having a very busy medical career?
Well, it's really about, putting in so you can, pull out kind of a situation, right? So, or the more you put into any situation, the more you can get out of the situation. So when I was, a student, at Xavier, I actually, got pretty involved. There was a peer dean, the pep band that got me into like music again, and that was enriching to me. I actually got an opportunity to play my instrument because outside of the pep band, I would have never played my trumpet again. And now it has me wanting to play more, and I play in the community band in New Jersey now, as a result of my interest in trying to get stronger at trumpet again after, so many years just kind of picking up here and there. So the more, that I actually put in, the more I get out, for myself. But people poured into me when I was basically a student at Xavier, and I just kind of want to give back what was given to me. It kind of comes full circle, as we kind of talked about. So, every student that we actually see out of New Jersey that basically are aspiring to actually go to college, we want to talk about what our experiences were here at Xavier to help them reach their goals. Me being in medicine, our program in pre-medicine program here is second to none, in my personal opinion. And just being able to share that basically is a way in which we actually share legacy. We basically share experiences, the way in which we lead, and it benefits the community at large. Mm-hmm. So, me pouring into them, pours into the community, which essentially comes back to me. Eventually, I'm going to be needing medical care, mm-hmm. and it'll be someone that I may have perhaps got to a place where they can be my doctor. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of, full circle. We basically live in society as a collective, mm-hmm. One of many.
Can y'all believe it's already Xavier Centennial Homecoming?
100 years of excellence, legacy, and that Xavier pride. It's really something special.
The energy on campus is so crazy right now. The alumni are coming back. The students are showing out. I mean, this is what homecoming is all about.
And while we're talking about alumni coming back, don't forget about the Homecoming Challenge.
Right. It's the perfect way for alumni to reconnect with Xavier, connect with students, and give back to the place that helped shape them.
And the best part, you don't even have to be here in person to take part. You can still give back from wherever you are by going to xavierproud.com/thegreatgiveback. It all makes a difference.
Exactly. Whether you're on campus or miles away, you're still a part of the Xavier legacy.
So, let's keep that spirit strong, celebrate 100 years of faith, service, and excellence.
And make this Centennial Homecoming one to remember. I'm so glad that you touched on legacy, full circle, all of those things. Our next segment, after looking into your profession, the influence that you had beyond Xavier, we want to take you back to your Xavier days, relive your experience, blast from the past. The year is 1990. New Edition and Guy are bumping from boom boxes on the yard. Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe is everywhere, and the internet is still just a rumor in the tech labs. The smell of cafeteria, red beans, and rice still draws a crowd every Monday. What was New Orleans and Xavier like during your time on campus from your best recollection?
Oh, man. Wow. It was great times. So many great times. I mean, I'm just thinking about so many of my, the upperclassmen that I looked up to. I kind of wanted to be like. Eventually, I pledged Kappa because they were just brothers that were like, I'm like, yeah, I like those guys over there. Those loops are just so smooth, so cool, and I wanted to be just like them. And so that was a big thing, but just really good times. I mean, there were no camera phones, no cell phones, so it was quite different times, but it was like really like black magic. It was like being because I actually went to Giant Area High School, which is basically a predominantly white school in the West Bank. It's become a little bit more, I guess, diverse and maybe black majority now, but at the time it was majority white. So a lot of cultural identity was actually obtained here at Xavier, and just the black diaspora being all, right here in my classes, black achievement, black success, got to see that in classes, on the yard. We had beer blasts that were awesome. We had variable yard shows. But again, no, wasn't a whole lot of video, but I have some pictures and stuff like that to bring back those memories of good times. We had a great time.
Like from the 90s, that early 2000s era, we hear that a lot. That Xavier was like top of the top.
Yeah, we were. Like I'm just thinking like Springfest was awesome. We had Chubb Rock, Queen Latifah.
Wow. Y'all had a lot of
some heavy hitters.
Yeah. So it was some good times. It was, it really was a good time, and I felt like there was a shift. I think Xavier almost got a boost and started getting a lot more elevation around that time. So yeah, it was good times.
It was a good time.
Yeah, very, very fond memories. Yeah. Very fond memories, I would have to say.
I know you touched on going to a predominantly white high school. Do you feel like you had like a big cultural shock going from there to Xavier, and did you have to like adapt to that at all?
No, because I got, I benefited from actually the rise of my senior year. I went to SOAR. I was lucky to have one of my good friends. His mom was a Xavier Wright and had him in summer programs. He went to BioStar, ChemStar. And so, in telling me about those programs, I'm like, I didn't know anything about. I was like, I got to check this SOAR out. So I went to SOAR program after my junior year. And I loved it so much, I went to SOAR 2 for my senior year, which is a totally different, it was an engineering program. But they're like, hey, look, we'd like you to come to SOAR. I'm like, okay. You give me some more scholarship money too? I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm there. So I went to SOAR 1 and SOAR 2. But that SOAR experience basically introduced me to what it could be like to attend Xavier and to attend an HBCU and be around Black people, and it was enjoyable. I just loved every aspect of it. Yeah, we had basic discussions about the ratio of our female to male population was
still like that now.
Yeah, hormones were raging, and I was like, oh yeah, these girls are beautiful too.
Everybody says that.
They said that Xavier girls are still
It's like one girl every 10. Wait.
It's like
10 boys every one. Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. We had I remember a couple of skits that we actually did like during orientation
for
or whatever.
PDA, still the same.
Yeah. And we featured that a little bit.
We still do that because I do periodine. I love it. Like I'm not being biased. Like best Oregon campus for sure. Littest Oregon campus.
You gonna ruffle some feathers. How do you feel like the culture of Xavier as an HBCU that's rooted in service and faith? How did that shape your responsibility as a Black physician?
Well, I think faith and service is basically everything that I do. It's not uncommon that in anesthesia, the practice of anesthesia basically is taking a patient through something that could be very challenging, if not life-threatening for them, and have them wake up as if nothing ever happened, taking them through that and bringing them very close to death even in the process. And so without faith, I don't know how my colleagues would even do it, right? So because I have to, I'm constantly in prayer when I'm like, okay, this patient doesn't look so and so we've had consultation, we've talked to cardiologists, making sure they're as suitable or best optimized as they could possibly be, but still questionable. And I just basically have to rely on my faith in God that He'll give me the guidance to get me through. And so and my service, everything we do is service, right? In the form of anesthesia practice. It's like we're serving, one, the community, two, we're serving our surgical or obstetric colleagues and helping them even when they actually have a mistake. Mistakes happen sometimes, and getting them through that, the patient through that, so that basically the outcome is positive.
Just based off what you're saying, you can tell you went to Xavier because that mission is still like living throughout you.
You can hear it. You can hear it.
Appreciate it.
Was there a time that you feel like the mission like literally came to life, like a specific moment in the classroom where you felt like I'm living the mission?
I would say, yeah. I mean, I think throughout, I benefited from, I want to say probably it was either SOAR or maybe my freshman year, where upperclassman that was at Xavier, we were just walking through campus, and he was just kind of talking to us, and I remember him saying, you're going to be 30 years old one day, regardless of whatever you have to do. Like people talk about how long it takes to get through school, med school, residency. You're going to be 30 years one day, 30 years old. Might as well be 30 years old doing what you want to do. Instead of 30 years old saying, oh, what I could have did or what I wanted to do. And so I always kind of felt that I was in, I guess, the motions of knowing and feeling that my purpose and mission was good.
Yeah, I feel like I hear that a lot from the alumni, even like the upperclassmen. They're like, you're gonna remember Xavier. You're gonna remember your core values, and you have to always hold them with you every day, even when you're so far away from New Orleans and Xavier itself. And they encourage us to not only embrace Black excellence, but our faith as well. How did you balance those values from your time on campus and carry them with you after?
Well, I mean, I have to always think that people are, are watching you. Like, even though you are, doing your thing for yourself, there are other people who basically are still trying to figure it out that are watching you, that are, that you could be, a model for. And so I want to make sure things that I do, things that I have done, speak to, who I am and who, I would want someone else to be, right, for the better. So just carrying myself in a way in which, I think is good, wholesome, honorable, and excellent is the Xavier way.
Yeah. So what does preparing leaders to transform the world mean to you personally, and how have you carried that calling into your career?
In order to actually be a physician, I think we're natural leaders of a team, right? As physicians, we work in the capacity where we have allied health professionals, mid-level providers, nurses, techs. And, as a physician, our role in a perioperative environment in anesthesia, it is, we're leaders. And carrying ourselves where, we're showing respect to everyone on the team. I actually try to tell my residents, that I'm teaching, med students, that everybody is deserving of respect and patience, so that, the whole system can work well, so, from the cleaning crew, that basically, because if a cleaning crew basically is not taking care of cleaning the room, we can't get the case in. The case gets delayed, surgery gets delayed, there's a potential, delay in everyone actually, doing what they need to do to get the work done, decreases production. And medicine is a business. If you can't do cases, can't, take care of patients appropriately, if there's something dirty, there's an infectious risk. So it's a part, it's interwoven, just, being a leader in everything that we do.
What part of your Xavier journey would you say brought you back to being a part of your own alumni chapter, being the treasurer, giving back? What part, or even in your career, what part do you think?
I would have to say just the joy that Xavier provided me. I kind of wanted everyone possible to share that joy. Everyone to experience the benefit that Xavier actually has afforded me. Being comfortable in my skin, being competent in my workplace. And so in med school, I was in D.C. at Howard University. I was a part of D.C. Alumni, even, that early on. I then I did a fellowship at Emory in Atlanta, and was a part of that alumni association. Getting that back on because they had a law or whatever have you, and changed some administration. Then when I got up to New York, New Jersey area, again, was like where the alums found out that there was, basically an alumni group that had not been as active, that were trying to get back on. So I was a part of the advisory board to get that up and going maybe 18 years ago. And then eventually the advisory board, we actually started a full active chapter, and I've been treasurer since that time. And so just try to communicate with the area alums doing college fairs, just to spread the word that Xavier down in New Orleans is making things happen.
That's a big difference from the East Coast.
Exactly. Yeah.
I always say those chapters, I don't know if y'all understand how much y'all mean, but my chapter made a big impact on me. And I've heard other people say the same thing about their
even
chapters.
for Chicago, yeah.
But it's really important. My freshman send-off, I came with a bunch of friends at school already. And I feel like I had a little family on campus, and it's like, you have certain people like, oh, they're from where I'm from, I can lean on them. You end up knowing them 10 years later. Like,
I even enjoy seeing like students from like those smaller cities or those cities you don't really think about coming here, and they're like, oh, I met a girl last semester. She's like, oh, I'm from Jersey. I was like, girl, how did you find Xavier from Jersey?
Yes,
so I love seeing that, and I know it's like it has to be their alumni chapter that's holding it down.
And I think that's what being an engaged alumni is about, really just kind of sharing your experiences so that someone else could learn, and so, I was just in text communication with a recent alum from 24 who has, gone on and went back to Connecticut now. And so just kind of bridged him in, and he's going to be becoming more active in the alumni chapter. And, but I, remember, just 6 years ago, communicate with he and his father, whatever, about, coming to Xavier.
That's crazy.
So, good stuff.
Okay. It's time for my favorite portion of the podcast.
Okay.
Okay, so now it's time to rush our Gold guests into answering some rapid-fire questions.
Okay.
This segment of the podcast is called the Live 5. So we're going to ask you 5 questions we think our Gold community would love to know. You ready?
I think so.
Okay, first question. Favorite band performance you were part of?
J.W. Carmichael's Memorial Day Second Line.
Lab coat or scrubs?
I'm all about the scrubs.
One piece of advice you would give your 21-year-old self?
Be you, be active, and enjoy every moment.
Your white coat ceremony or graduation day?
Always graduation day. The completion is what's key.
Favorite Xavier tradition of all time?
I would have to say that homecoming, man.
I think that's everybody's favorite.
I have to say homecoming. My wife, I love her. She went to PWI at UNC. And she's like, why you got, it's like, you did homecoming last, I'm like, homecoming's every year, babe. I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, it's okay. She's like, I don't get it. I'm like, yeah, okay. Okay, you don't get it. I get it. I get you don't get it. Okay. But yeah, nothing like it. Well, they've been with me, but yeah, it's just different. It's different for they don't get it, but it's nothing like it. Yeah. Nothing like it.
Nothing. I agree.
Centennial homecoming coming up.
Are you excited about that?
That's right. I'm so excited about Centennial homecoming. We talked about the collab that we're going to do with the band, so so excited about that. The golf tournament is going to be Thursday. Gospel Choir has its anniversary, not an anniversary, but a reunion, big reunion. So excited about that. I was a big part of the Gospel Choir. That was also some great memories, but we have a concert on the Sunday, and looking forward to actually, being a part of that as well.
Are you doing the golf tournament with Randall?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, we heard about y'all 20-year golf trip.
We actually have a golf trip we do President's Day weekend, and so that's a big component of just the fellowship we have in our fraternity. So it's good times.
Love that.
Good times.
Well, again, it was a pleasure connecting with you, a fellow alumnus, through conversation. Indeed. How can our growing Gold community connect with you online?
I am readily available. You can look me up on Michael A. Young on Facebook. Instagram is Mike Young 622. I'm everywhere, but I'm not hard to find. I'm always here in New Orleans every chance I get. My mom's still in Marrero, so.
Okay, Dr. Young, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for coming on to the podcast.
Thank you both for having me.
XU, you know what to do.
Subscribe and rate the show today, and join us, the Xavier Gold Live podcast, on the first Tuesday of every month to stay up to date with all things alumni.
Follow at XULA Alumni on Instagram, and subscribe to our monthly alumni newsletter.
Until next time, Xavierites.